My girlfriend said she was with a friend, but that same friend was with me choosing an engagement ring. How do I address her lie? God, this is a doozy. I swear, my life feels like a movie right now. Sorry for the weird formatting. I'm on mobile, and this is my first time posting on a sub like this. I'm 28 years old, and I'm planning on proposing to my girlfriend of 3 years, who is 26. Now, I suck at picking out jewelry. I'm the type of guy that doesn't see a problem with heart-shaped jewelry. Seriously, why is it considered so ugly? So, every time I want to buy something for my girl, I usually consult one of our mutual friends. My girl's best friends are all friends with me as well, and we all get along well. So asking them for help picking out jewelry is something I'm used to. When it came time to pick out a ring, I consulted my girlfriend's best friend, Justine. Justine and I are quite close, and she knows my girlfriend better than anyone, including me. So, when my girlfriend went out to visit her sister and baby nephew, I invited Justine over to the house to help pick out a ring. Justine and I looked through a few catalogs but decided it was a dead end, and it would be better to go to professionals at a jewelry store. However, I didn't know when my girlfriend would be coming home, so Justine and I thought of a clever text to gauge how much time we had. I asked her when she'd be coming home, as I was ordering takeout, and wanted to know when to tell them to have the food ready by. She responded by saying it would be a few hours. She met up with Justine to go shopping. Now, obviously, this took me by surprise since Justine was standing inside my house. I showed Justine the text, and she looked as confused as I was. It isn't out of the ordinary for my girlfriend to meet up with people out of the blue like that for shopping, lunch, etc. She's a very spontaneous person and loves making plans on the fly, so ordinarily, I would have believed this text in a heartbeat. However, obviously, this had to be a lie. When she came home, she acted completely normal, and I played along, but it's been really hard to act like everything's fine. We got takeout, ate together, and cuddled on the couch after. So far, she hasn't caught on a little that something is upsetting me, but I just can't tell her what. Looking at her kills me. I don't know what to do. My girlfriend and I have zero trust issues, and we tell each other everything. So this lie is killing me. I want to ask her about it so badly, but if I tell her I knew she was lying, I'd have to explain why, and I really don't want to do that. What should I do? I know she lied to me, but I don't know how to confront her about it. Should I just forget it? This won't stop gnawing at me. Please help. Edit. I'm sorry for the lack of responses. It's been a hectic day, and there are a lot of comments. Thank you to everyone who has commented so far. I appreciate them all. Edit 2. Sorry again for the lack of responses, guys. It's really been a crazy day. My parents are moving, and I've been helping them. Also, I've never experienced this many comments on a post in my life. I'm going to talk to her tonight once we're both finally settled in after such a busy day, and I will update tomorrow. Update. Hey guys. Oh my god, where to begin? My last post got way more attention than I could have ever imagined. Suffice to say, it was a tad bit overwhelming. Seriously, the amount of people begging for an update was a bit dehumanizing in a way, like I wasn't a person going through something, but more so a story. But I understand, haha. I just want to say thank you so much for all of the support and wonderful comments. I got a lot of great advice that helped me tackle the issue head on. I also got a lot of really kind comments and messages. It was awesome. I also got a lot of comments that made me realize how toxic this sub can be. There were many comments that just said things like, she's cheating, it's over, and don't even confront her, just leave. It's advice like that that can ruin relationships that just need a little work. And thank you to the people that told me to hit my girlfriend, told me I was an embarrassment to my gender, and best of all, told me I should encourage an affair because it would lead to great experiences for me later in life. You gave me a good chuckle. On to the update. I decided to confront my girlfriend. I thought about using some of the lies people suggested, but they just wouldn't make sense. To say I ran into Justine somewhere? Well, I told my girl I had to stay home and do stuff around the house, and that's why I couldn't go with her to see my sister. To say Justine was helping me pick out jewelry? It doesn't make sense for her to come all the way to our house to help me pick out a piece of jewelry unless it was a serious piece of jewelry, like an engagement ring. If I just wanted to get her a piece of jewelry as a gift, I'd ask her friends for suggestions or ask them to send me pictures of jewelry she might like. It all happens over text. None of the excuses made sense, so I decided to be honest. I basically just said that I knew we'd been thinking about marriage, and she probably knew a proposal was coming soon, so I invited Justine over to help me find her the perfect ring. And that so happened to be the day that she said she was going to see her sister. So what's the deal? She immediately started grinning like an idiot and prodding me about proposing and the ring. But then we got back onto the topic of where she was, and she confessed what she was really doing. No, she wasn't cheating, and no, she wasn't picking out a ring for me. The amount of times that was commented was crazy. So, some people are dog people, and some people are cat people. Well, me? I'm a snake person. I grew up with snakes my whole life, but I never felt I was able to get one because my girlfriend has always been uneasy about living with a snake, which I completely respected. Also, the process of buying and raising a snake is very different from that of buying and raising a dog or cat. It's quite complicated. So you could imagine my surprise when my girlfriend showed me a picture of her holding the cutest Kenyan sand boa I've ever seen. Needless to say, my girlfriend was going to surprise me with a snake. We're picking her up next week. Let me know if you want a pet tax. She's so cute. I definitely did not expect this, and I feel bad for ruining the surprise, but oh well. Life is good. Sorry if this isn't the ending you guys wanted or expected. Just a snake. Now, to the next story. Story 2. 3 weeks ago, I got beat up defending 2 girls. My girlfriend felt unsafe, grew distant, and moved to her parents, leaving me to recover alone. First of all, I want to thank every single one of you who commented on my last post. The love and support I received was immense, and it actually made me feel a little better in the mess of it all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. All of the following happened yesterday, so excuse me if I ramble a bit. It's all fresh in my mind. Original post. Mandatory. I have been with my GF, Sarah, for 3 years and been living together for 1.5. She is honestly everything I have ever wanted, and I am planning on proposing somewhere next year. So, 3 weeks ago, I was out with Sarah at a local bar, drinking and having a great time with her, as it was just after quarantine had ended where I live. At around 3 a.m., we decided to head home. As we headed to the parking lot where we had parked, we noticed a group of 2 girls and a guy who was clearly drunk, trying to hit on them and get them to go to his house. The girls were clearly very uncomfortable and trying to find a way out. Sarah told me that we had to do something, and I told her to go call the cops and get someone as well, because the very last thing I wanted was her getting hurt during this. So, I approached the group and tried to pretend I was the boyfriend of one of the 2 girls. Long story short, I got my ass kicked. The guy was at least 6 feet 4 inches and 220 pounds, whereas I'm 5 feet 11 inches, 167 pounds. I'm fairly muscular myself, but there was no way I could have taken someone that big. I knew it from the start, at least from all the noise we had made. A lot of people rushed to the scene, and the girls got away safe. I was rushed to the ER because the guy had broken my ribs, which had punctured my right lung. Yay. After that incident, Sarah grew distant from me. Even though she visited and stayed with me at the hospital, she hasn't been the same since. I thought she just needed time to move past this. However, 5 days ago, she told me that she is not the same person after what happened, and she doesn't know if she feels safe with me after I got beat up like that. Honestly, hearing that hurt me more than when I got my ribs broken. She moved to her parents for the time being, and she told me she needs time. Meanwhile, I had no one here to help me, so my brother left his 2 boys and wife to move in with me. I know I'm just venting at this point, but I don't want this to be over like that. Reddit, is there anything I can do to salvage the situation? Update. Until yesterday, it had been 14 days since my last contact with Sarah. My brother had left 4 days prior because I felt bad keeping him away from his family for so long, plus I could take care of myself to some extent. So, around 2 p.m., while I was making lunch, I heard the doorbell ring. I went to open the door, and there she was, Sarah. With tears in her eyes, eye bags, frizzy hair, looking like a total mess. During the time we've been together, I've seen her in her ups and downs, but I'd never seen her in such a horrible state before. So, I let her sit on the couch. We still hadn't said a word, as we were both dumbfounded. I was so overwhelmed by emotions. I wanted to hug her. I wanted to full blast her. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. So, I did nothing and waited for her to talk. After 5 or 10 minutes of silence, she started sobbing and saying she's sorry, and then crying. At this point, I could barely hold myself together, so I held her hand and tried to calm her down so I could figure out what was going on. After a while, she finally somewhat calmed down and started talking, and that's where it got bad. Something that I didn't include in the original post because it wouldn't make sense anyway, is that Sarah's mother has been divorced and remarried once. From what Sarah has told me, her biological father cheated on her mother while she was still a kid, and that's why they broke up. That's also why she doesn't have any kind of relationship with her father. It seemed odd when I first learned about it, but I didn't question it. That is not the whole story, though. Sarah's biological father didn't only cheat on her mother. He was a drug addict that also used to beat her up frequently. Without getting into a lot of graphic detail, in one instance, when Sarah's brother tried to intervene and protect her mother, he ended up getting beat up too. So, when she saw me intervening and getting my ass kicked in the bar incident, it triggered some kind of PTSD in her head that she could not control. That's why she had grown distant and eventually left. It all spiraled out of control, and she could not handle it. In those 2 weeks we'd been apart, she'd barely eaten or slept, and even had some really dark thoughts, which I'd rather not go into. She told me she was a horrible girlfriend for leaving me alone in my condition, and that she doesn't expect us to be together again after that, which I told her isn't the case. So, we have a very long road ahead of us. My number one priority right now is getting her to see a therapist, which I suggested we can do together if she's scared to do it alone. So yeah, that's where we are at. Some of you were right that there was some deeper issue behind what happened, but I could not have possibly known. I also wanted to take this opportunity to say something that I got messaged about a lot. I got a lot of comments and messages saying that I was wrong for what I did at that parking lot, and that I should mind my own business next time and not play the hero, etc. First of all, I did not initiate the fight with the dude. As I said, when I got there, I tried to pretend I was the boyfriend of one of the girls. When that didn't work, I got between the girls and the dude, trying to create some space between them, and that's when he started to push me and eventually started throwing punches. Secondly, no matter how hard I hit the gym, I would never be able to take that guy one-on-one. As I said, I'm pretty fit, and I've been working out for several years, but the fellow was a lot bigger than me. Unless I had a gun or something, which isn't legal in my country, I was doomed. Finally, for the people telling me to mind my own business, well, let me tell you exactly what I was doing. It is mine and everyone else's responsibility to look after the ones who can't protect themselves in this world. No, I do not consider myself a hero, nor did I do it for the show. I did it because in some other instance, one of those girls could have been my girlfriend, sister, or mother needing help. And these girls were somebody else's girlfriend, sister, or mother. If I was put in that situation 100 more times, I would act the same. Edit. I also talked to her about the proposal I wanted to make this year. I was planning on doing it as a surprise, but in the way things have turned out, I figured it would be better if she knew it first. We both agreed it should be delayed for now. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.